it's Jen from Winrose Fiber Studio. Today, let's crochet a cinnamon log tote ornament. So I don't know if you've ever seen a log tote. That's just a piece of fabric that folds over with handles on the top, and you can go out to your firewood and load it up, and then bring these logs back to the house for the fireplace. But in this case, we'll be bringing it to the Christmas tree and hanging it on a branch, and the cinnamon sticks will smell wonderful as cinnamon sticks do. And there's something just very sweet, maybe a little old-fashioned, about a cinnamon log tote ornament. So let's go ahead and make one for your Christmas tree. For now, I'm going to set aside my logs. And if you have a little look at this fabric, we're going to be borrowing from Bavarian crochet for our design today. So if you've ever done Bavarian style crochet, this will be very familiar to you. And if you haven't, you might discover something new that you quite enjoy. It'll be something to look up and find other patterns using Bavarian crochet. For our materials today, I'll be using two colors, Wool Ease in the color Umber, and then I'm also using, I love this yarn, in the color Linen. I chose this Wool Ease because I thought it sort of looks like the color of cinnamon, and I liked that for this project. But of course, this could be really pretty done in other colors as well. Have a pair of scissors handy. I'm going to be working with a 5mm crochet hook, a yarn needle, and if you like, you can have a few stitch markers handy. We're going to set everything aside for right now, except for our 5mm crochet hook and our Umber yarn. So the yarn we're starting off with is going to be the yarn that creates these diamonds in the center, diamonds or squares. So this is the color. So if you're working with two different colors, just know that the color we're starting off with is going to create these shapes in the center of our ornament. Okay, here we go. Let's go ahead and join our yarn to our crochet hook. And we start off this project by chaining 18. You can see that I've made this beginning chain not tight, but a little more close. And our next step is to work a single crochet in the second chain from the hook. I like to work into these back bumps along the chain. So I'm going to count to the second chain from the hook, turn over, and work my hook under that second bump. And we'll just work a single crochet there. Now we're going to skip the next 3 chains, 1, 2, 3, and into the next chain we're going to work. So we're going to work 4 double crochets into this chain. 1, 2, 3, 4, and now chain 1. And then work 4 more double crochets into that same stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we're going to skip the next 3 chains, 1, 2, 3, and work a single crochet into the next chain. And then we're going to skip 3 chains again, 1, 2, 3. Into this next chain, we're going to work 4 double crochets. Chain 1, and then 4 more double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4. There should be 4 chains left from our beginning chain. 1, 2, 3, and into that last chain we're going to work a single crochet. So here is the way our work is looking, going down one side of the beginning chain, but now we're going to keep going and we're going to turn our work over and we're going to be working across the other side of the beginning chain. And we're going to start off by working into the same stitch but on the opposite side of the stitch where we've placed all of these double crochets. So you can see if I kind of pull on the work, that stitch opens up and I can work 4 double crochets. My beginning tail wants to be the star. 3, 4, chain 1, and then work 4 more double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we're going to skip the next 3 chains and we're going to work a single crochet on the other side of the stitch where we worked the single crochet, going down the first side. So into that same stitch we're going to work a single crochet, and then opposite this stitch in the same stitch here we're going to work 4 double crochets. Chain 1, and then 4 more double crochets. Whoops. Let's do that last one again. And then we finish off by working a slip stitch in our first single crochet. We can cut our yarn and here's our work so far. Now we're ready to introduce our second color. We'll attach that to our crochet hook. So we're going to start with our first set of 4 double crochets. We're going to be working around the posts of these stitches from back to front. I'm going to yarn over. I'm going to go from back to front around the post of the first one, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, and then I'm going to yarn over again, go from back to front around the post of the next double crochet, yarn over, pull through 2, whoops, then yarn over, go to the third one, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, and now we're going to do it for our 4th stitch in this group. Yarn over, pull through 2, you'll have 5 loops on your hook. Yarn over and pull through all 5 of these stitches. So we have just double crocheted these 4 stitches together, and if you look at it, it makes that cute stitching on the front. Now you're going to chain 3, Work a single crochet in this chain 1 space, chain 3 again, and now we're going to double crochet the next 8 double crochets together. So we're going to do what we just did, but we're going to do it 8 times around these 4 double crochets and these 4 double crochets. And we'll be skipping right over that single crochet in the middle. So yarn over, back to front around the next double crochet, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, and then on to the next stitch, then the 3rd, and the 4th. We're going to skip that single crochet and we're going to keep going. Yarn over, back to front around the post of the next double crochet, and we have 2 to go. Keep your work nice and relaxed. You don't want to get too tight here. So now you can see we've got 9 loops on our hook. Yarn over and pull through all 9 of those loops. Now chain 3, and we're going to work a single crochet in this chain 1 space. Chain 3, and now we're going to back post double crochet these 4 double crochets together. 1, 2, 3, 4, yarn over, pull through all 5 loops, chain 3. Now we're going to work a single crochet in the next stitch. Chain 3. Now we're going to back post double crochet the next 4 stitches together. Yarn over, go around the next double crochet. Now be careful here because we've got the end of our beginning chain. This is not a double crochet. You're going to skip over that and you're going to be working around the posts of the next 4 double crochets. So don't accidentally work around this piece of the chain from the beginning. So skip over that, yarn over, go back to front around the post of the next double crochet, yarn over, and do the one after that. Now there's 2 left. Yarn over, pull through all 5, chain 3. I need to get a little more yarn. And now we can single crochet in this next chain 1 space. We're working our way down the opposite side. Now we're going to back post double crochet the next 8 double crochets together, skipping over this single crochet. So chain 3, and let's begin. We're going to yarn over. Here's 1, 2, 3, 4, skip over that single crochet, move on to the next double crochet, working back to front around that post, 5, keep your work nice and relaxed, 6, 7, 8, yarn over and pull through all 9 loops on your hook, chain 3. Now we can single crochet in the next chain 1 space, chain 3, And now we'll back post double crochet the next and last 4 double crochets together. So yarn over, 1, 2, 3, 4, yarn over, pull through all 5 loops, chain 3. We're going to single crochet into that first single crochet, chain 3, and then slip stitch to our very first stitch of the round. So let's look at our work so far. So right now we don't have very defined corners just yet on our little rectangle, and we'll bring those out a little bit more with our last round. But we have all of the makings of our little tote ornament. You can see all the stitching that we created by working those back post double crochet decreases. I love the little stitches in the corners, and we just have one round to go. So pick your hook back up. So here we are, we're at the top of our first back post double crochet 4 together. I'm going to chain 1, and into this same stitch I'm going to work 5 single crochets. If you like, you can mark the third, because this will be the corner of the rectangle. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and our stitch marker will just make it really easy for us to find that corner stitch. Now we have our next chain 3 space, and into that chain 3 space we're going to work 2 single crochets, single crochet into the next single crochet, 2 single crochets into the next chain 3 space. Now here we are at the first back post 8 double crochets together, and into the top of that stitch we're going to work 2 single crochets into the next chain 3 space, 2 single crochets, 1 single crochet into that single crochet. Here we are at another chain 3 space, 2 single crochets into that space, and now we've reached our next corner. Into the top of this stitch we're going to work 5 single crochets, and you can mark that third one again if you like. This is completely optional. And now we've reached our next chain 3 space. We'll work 2 single crochets, single crochet in the next single crochet, 2 single crochets in the next chain 3 space. Here we are at another corner. The corners are all these 4 double crochet together spaces. So in the top of that we're going to work 5 single crochets, get a little more yarn, make my last 2, 2 single crochets in the next chain 3 space, 1 single crochet in the next single crochet, 2 single crochets in the next chain 3 space, 2 single crochets in the top of the 8 double crochets together, 2 single crochets in the next chain 3 space, 1 single crochet in the next single crochet, 2 single crochets in the next chain 3 space, and now we're at our last corner, the top of our last 4 double crochets together, and we'll work 5 single crochets into that stitch. And since I've marked the other 3 corners, I'm going to mark my last corner, finish the last 2 stitches of that corner, 2 single crochets in the next chain 3 space, 1 in the next single crochet, 2 single crochets in the very last chain 3 space, and then you can just join with a slip stitch to your very first single crochet. If you want to get fancy, you can do an invisible finish off, and if you've never done that before, I can show you how to do that really quickly. So if you just want to slip stitch into the very first single crochet, you'll insert your hook, yarn over, pull it through that stitch and the loop on your hook, and then you'll cut your yarn and pull it through this loop, and you're done. If you want to do an invisible finish, you'll go ahead and cut your working yarn, pull the cut end through, and then thread that onto your yarn needle. I like to use the blunt end of my needle, and I'm just going to go under the first single crochet, both loops, pull that through, and then I'm going to go back and I'm going to go through the top of my last stitch and straight down, but I'm going to pick up this loop of yarn right behind it. So I'm going through the top of the last stitch and catching this piece of yarn. And when you watch this come together, it basically forms what looks like just another stitch in the row. And you can leave that looking like another stitch, and you can also pull that a little closer so it doesn't add length to that side of our rectangle. It's just a very nice, clean way to finish off your work. I'm going to go ahead and weave in my beginning and ending tails. So as with any crocheted fabric, you could block this piece. Because I'm making an ornament, I'm not going to worry too much about it being perfectly shaped. I'm going to embrace that homemade quality. But truly, this is a pretty nicely shaped little rectangle. It's almost ready to carry the logs in for you, but we need to give it a couple of handles. To create the handles, I'm going to join my yarn back up, and I'm going to join it to this corner stitch that I've marked, and it's just the middle stitch of those 5 single crochets in each corner, and I'm just going to join with a slip stitch. So I'm inserting my hook, yarn over, pulling it through that stitch and pulling it through the loop on my hook, and then I can even give it a little tug. And now I'm simply going to chain 20, and then I'm going to join this with a slip stitch to the other corner across the short end of our rectangle. Let's get that stitch marker out of our way, yarn over, pull through. And now we can cut this. Just pull it through. We've got one handle. And now we're just going to do the same for the other side and weave in these tails. Now our tote is ready for our logs. And ready to hang onto the tree. If you don't have cinnamon sticks, there's no reason you can't go outside and maybe pick up a few little sticks. And those could go right into our log carrier and hang on the tree. So whether you put cinnamon logs or sticks in your cinnamon log tote, you've got a really sweet ornament that's homemade that you can give to a friend or that you can hang on your very own tree this holiday season. Bavarian crochet, old-fashioned log tote, sweet little ornament. If you enjoyed today's project, please hit like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell, and that way you'll never miss a new pattern. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.